All right, it is time now once again for the Dawn and Eli Take on the World podcast. My name is Elias Mellis, but you can call me Eli for short. And who is this lovely lady over here to my right? Who the heck are you?
Well, I am your girlfriend and Vice President of Operations for the GNA.
Which is short for Genuine Networking Association. That's right, you're my girlfriend, my lovely lady Dawn, and the VP of Operations of the Genuine Networking Association. That is right. That is right. All right, babe. Let's get back to the show here. Let's get right to the show, Welcome back to another episode of the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast. Today is episode number 69, and our topic is love and partnership through life's hard times. One more time, episode number 69 of the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast is love and partnership through life's hard times. So, today, babe, we are talking about something that is deeply personal to both of us. We are talking about love. We are talking about commitment. We are talking about partnership, but more specifically, we are talking about what happens to love and partnership when life gets hard. Because it is easy to say that you love somebody when everything is going well. It is easy to be patient when you are rested. It is easy to be supportive when you are not overwhelmed. It is easy to enjoy each other when there is money in the bank. Everybody is healthy and there are no major emergencies hanging over your head. But that is not always real life. Real life can be difficult. People get sick. People lose jobs. Bills pile up. Cars break down. Family members need help. Mental health struggles become heavier. That's a big one we've dealt with quite a lot, hubby.
Yes.
Yeah. Plans fall apart. People become exhausted. And sometimes two people who genuinely love each other can still struggle to communicate through all of that pressure. Hard times do not automatically destroy a relationship, but they do test it, hubby.
Oh, gosh, yes.
They test patience. They test communication. They test trust. They test forgiveness. They test whether two people can continue seeing each other as partners instead of turning each other into the enemy. And I think one of the biggest mistakes people make is believing that a strong relationship is one where the couple never argues. That is not realistic.
No.
People argue. People get frustrated. People misunderstand each other. People say things the wrong way. People have moments when they are tired, scared, overwhelmed, or emotionally unavailable.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Lots of people have been emotionally unavailable. The real question is not whether a couple ever struggles. The real question is what they do with that struggle. Do they communicate? Do they listen? Do they apologize? Do they forgive? Do they work together? Or do they allow resentment, silence, blame, and anger to slowly pull them apart? Because sometimes the hardest part of loving someone is not celebrating with them. It is sitting beside them when there is nothing to celebrate.
Mm-hmm.
It is helping them through something you cannot fix. Boy, I've been down that road. So have you.
Yeah.
Many, many times, right? It is reassuring them when you are scared to. It is carrying more of the weight when they temporarily cannot. And sometimes it is admitting that you are the one who needs help carrying the weight. So again, today's episode is called Love and Partnership Through Life's Hard Times. And today, there are no Reddit postings. There are no outside stories. There is simply going to be an honest conversation between the two of us. I have 10 heavy-hitting questions for you, babe. I really want you to answer them honestly. And after each answer, I'm going to share my own thoughts and perspective. So before we get to that, though, babe, as always, I must ask you the million, billion, $1 trillion question. How's the past week gone for you here at the GNA, which once again stands for Genuine Networking Association, our wonderful organization where we help people?
Well, I have no complaints. My week went very well. I think I could speak for you to say it went pretty smooth this week.
Oh, yeah.
Just lots of working, lots of communicating, a lot of time being spent together. We also try to spend the time with our families because that also brings us closer and we love each other more. So, yeah, I just think that's what we're all about. And I don't want to sound like ooey gooey stuff. No, we are not coming out here pretending that everything is great.
You can be ooey gooey if you want, though.
Well,
if that's how you naturally feel, right?
Well, you could feel that way in the beginning of a relationship, but that should not go on past that, honeymoon phase of a relationship,
Well, you're talking about feeling that same excitement and loving someone, after being with them almost 5 years, like you and I have been together almost 5 years.
Yeah.
Loving them and feeling the same way you did when you first got with them. I think that's a good thing, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I think as time goes, I should say, the two people grow together and
they settle in.
They settle into what they've done by bringing their lives together.
Right. They settle into the way it's supposed to be. Right?
Yes. But besides that, the week has been fantastic. Myself, I had just done, I did one pretty good puzzle, which was exciting, is nice, relaxing. I started a new book, which is pretty interesting. And, just a great day or a great week of keeping up with friends, family, and all the great hobbies and things that make me happy.
Things that make you go,
Right? No, I don't have to go, about what makes me happy.
No, that's good.
Yeah, I know.
That's good. Anything else, my love?
No, let's go on. And you can reply, but then we'll move forward.
Oh, I've got to do my part of the monologue. You want to just do the monologue and then skip right to the questions?
You're funny. No, I said we'll get to you and then carry on.
You know what, babe? I have to be honest with you. I've been passed up so many times in life. I'm so used to it. So if you want to pass me up on my portion of the monologue, it's all good, baby.
No, you're so funny. That was not my intention.
It may be funny, but it is true. I get passed up a lot. And you know what? It is what it is. That's life. Such is life, right?
Yeah, such is life.
Such is life.
As long as you can joke about it.
Well, here's the thing. Just because you keep getting passed up, like back in my younger days, when I was working a W-2 job, I was in retail and I was trying to get into retail management and supervisory type of positions. And I kept getting passed up initially. And I just didn't realize why I was, getting passed up. And one of the main reasons was because I just couldn't keep my mouth shut. I was complaining at the fact that the managers were promoting their friends that were less qualified than I was, and I should have just kept my mouth shut. There are a lot of politics everywhere, and you have to learn to deal with those politics. And I've just chalked it up to, that's just the politics of life. It is what it is, no matter how wrong it is for managers to promote their less qualified friends over others that are more qualified. That's just how things go. And you have to just learn to accept it and understand it, or you're just never going to get to where you want to get to. Sometimes saying nothing at all is better than, even responding when you're actually right. And there are many times where good people like myself and Dawn, we're right about things. But even in those situations, it's just better to keep your mouth shut. If you know it's going to affect someone or affect you from moving ahead, zip it, and you'll see how much faster you move ahead.
It's better to let them talk other than just argue a fact. Let them speak their mind, and you don't have to go along with it. You can agree to disagree, but you have to
Yeah.
give the person the ability to talk what they feel and or what they feel and what's on their mind.
Well, you have to also understand that life is not fair. Things aren't always going to go your way. And what's technically right isn't always going to end up being the right thing. And, that's why I like to say there's always a gray area to everything. Even with the law, there's always a gray area. And it all depends on how the people in charge of applying the rules or applying the law apply it.
Yes.
And everybody applies things differently. So you just have to learn to roll with the punches. And some of the best advice, again, and I've struggled with this, we all have, is just keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
Keep your mouth shut. Just, keep doing what you need to do to move forward. And eventually your time will come.
Lead by example.
And lead by example, right? Have a positive attitude no matter how hard it can be to have a positive attitude at times, or now in this modern world, many times, almost every day. Every day is a challenge in this modern world, especially here in 2026, where we're dealing with, massive inflation and the cost of living has gone way up and many people are struggling. You just gotta learn to keep it positive. You just gotta learn to just move forward and keep doing what you need to do to survive and make ends meet.
Keep playing the cards you've been dealt.
Right. Yeah. You gotta play the cards you've been dealt with, and you gotta play them as best as possible. That's about it. But besides that, yeah, it's been a good week. I did not create any content on YouTube this week. Maybe this coming week I'll start doing some live streams. The only piece of content that we've been guaranteeing lately is our podcast, or the video version of our podcast, which is on our main channel, GNA, Genuine Personal Development, on YouTube. And so, I've been focused on some other things. I've been working some freelance jobs to bring in some extra money to provide for our family and our future. And it's been very productive. And I'm just, I'm thrilled at the opportunities that I've been able to find out there as a self-employed entrepreneur. And I'm grateful, for the people that have given me the opportunity to serve them and to bring in some extra money to, provide for my family, our family here. So, I just wanted to state that. And pretty much that's it. I mean, there's a lot of other drama stuff going on. I'm not going to talk about that. I just don't care to deal with the drama of this world, especially online drama. It is just such a waste of time, waste of energy. It's so stupid. I just want to keep it positive. And the people that really want to move forward in a positive way, hey, we're here for you. And the other people that just want to ridicule us, you're going to do what you're going to do no matter what we do, no matter how positive we are. It doesn't matter. So anyway.
Yeah, we've had a lot of thoughts on some redirection, and they're all very positive.
Right.
We're getting really good feedback from people. So, I'm excited to move forward with this, with what we're doing.
Time will only tell, right, baby?
Yeah.
Time will only tell. And, I wanted to make a special comment at the beginning of this show. There's a lady out there, I'm not going to mention her real name, but she goes by the channel name All Meat Pizza on YouTube. A phenomenal lady. She's connected with Don and I privately behind the scenes. We message each other through Facebook Messenger every now and then, and she's made some nice comments about our podcast. We really wanted to acknowledge you and thank you for your support.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for your support. And, our podcast isn't the biggest podcast, but, we're trying to get it out there and help more people. And, we just want you to know how much even you being one of the few people that have commented so far, especially in a positive way, it means the world to us.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Really does, so.
We are grateful for all of you out there.
We're very grateful and thankful for her and the other people that have been supporting us. But I've always been the kind of person, babe, that people that go out of their way for us, I go out of my way for them. I love everyone in general, but I put more of my effort into people that put effort into us, at least showing us that they appreciate the content
Mm-hmm.
and what we do out here. So thank you very much for that.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah. So with that being said, anything else, my love?
No, let's go.
Okay. So today's show might not be the longest. It may only be like an hour and a half, maybe an hour 45 at the most. We have 10 questions, no Reddit postings, no nothing, but it's going to be very deep. So these questions may take a little bit of time to respond. We're going to get through the first 5. Then my lovely lady Dawn over here will take her potty break.
That's what we'll call it. Yeah, potty break.
Right, right. She has a bladder like Niagara Falls, so she needs to take a restroom break.
I think it's partially because some of the medication I take.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So
everyone is different, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh no,
nothing wrong with that. Even if you're like radio stations, during the commercial break, I'm sure the DJs or the hosts get up and use the restroom. Like once an hour or so, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and even if I have to go when I record these shows for like 2 hours, I just hold it. It's not the best thing, but I've got a pretty good control on my bladder. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that. Let's get to question number 1.
Okay.
All right. So, babe, Dawn, when you think about everything we have faced together, what difficult experience do you believe tested our relationship the most, and why?
I believe that what has gone on YouTube has been the biggest stressor in our lives.
Amen.
The amount of time it consumed, the amount of oxygen, it just got to a point where, like Eli said in the past, my bandwidth was done. I shut down a lot of times. I quit. I was rage quitting left and right. And it was a process to get used to, I want to say. Something I wasn't privy to before I got together with Eli. I didn't realize that the online world could be this way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I figure there are a couple assholes out there. They're out there everywhere.
Right.
But it just seems like there are way too many assholes in this world.
That is sure. That is for damn sure. I mean,
it's just we had to at one point rise above and realize, like he was saying, sometimes you just have to say nothing and just go on. You know what's right, know what's wrong.
Like the song, you say it best when you say nothing at all.
Yes,
right?
But just trusting your partner, that's the biggest thing.
Right.
And this happened early in our relationship, and it really tested the relationship. And we were able to get through that. Are you looking up that?
No, something different.
Oh, I was going to say Chris Whitley, right? Yeah. Anyways, what I was saying is it actually put a strain early on. And when we were able to get through that showed me that the love was strong between the two of us.
Yeah. Before I respond, you have nothing further to say, right?
No.
My eye's a little puffy. I want to make it very clear for some people that are going to probably criticize my eye. This is a sty. It happens every now and then. It's like a bacterial infection. You treat it at home, and in a week or two, it completely goes away. I'm good. There's nothing wrong. It's all good. So, but if people want to make fun of it, so be it. Whatever. Zoom in, take a picture, put a bullseye on it. I really don't care. But yeah, I have to agree with you. Not 100%, not 1,000,000%, not 1,000,000,000%, but 1,000,000,000,000%. Regarding, what difficult experience do I believe tested our relationship the most, and why? Yes, it has been, creating content on YouTube, because we're one of the few people that create positive content, and we're not about drama. We're not about yelling and screaming at people. Although we've somehow gotten ourselves involved in some screaming matches over the years, and We don't do that anymore. We never wanted to do that in the first place. And, I was doing this for over 4 years before I got with Dawn, almost 5 years ago. And so I had already been through what I'll call the digital version of hazing. Like in college, when you join a fraternity, they have the hazing phase, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you go through this hazing phase on YouTube, and then you figure it out. You learn how to deal with it. But then, you meet the love of your life, and she wants to come help you create content, and you try to explain to her everything that you've already dealt with. But no matter, how much you forewarn her or explain things to her, it's still going to affect her. It's still going to affect anyone new that doesn't understand the online hazing or trolling or attacking, and what some people will do to get attention, and then to take that attention, make content out of you, and then defame you and harass you, and then have an audience of people that actually, love that type of content and donate money towards that type of content. It's just insane. But I believe that did test our relationship more than anything. And I have to thank you for sticking around.
Absolutely.
Because
no regrets at all. No regrets.
I appreciate that. No regrets on my end as well. Because most people get up and walk away. Most people that would have been in your situation would have gotten up and walked away, or would have said, okay, you either leave YouTube or we're done. They would give an ultimatum. You realize that, what I do partially requires YouTube to be able to present my purpose out there. And I shouldn't have to give that up because there's a bunch of nasty people out there that want to make it difficult for you to reach a targeted audience of people that really, want, good, wholesome, clean, positive and uplifting type of content. You know what I mean, babe?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I completely agree with you on that. And I think that this experience that not only I experienced before I got with you, but you now have experienced it, it's made us both stronger. Would you say that being hazed and trolled and attacked on YouTube for years has, forced us to become stronger, forced us to become stronger and learn how to deal with it better?
Yes. And I think that's why, if you guys go back and you look at some of our streams from before, and then you look at the podcast now, you could see how we have matured a little bit on this kind of.
Well, we've always been mature.
We've always been mature, but
you're saying that we've grown, right?
Well, yeah, I'm like, we've openly had arguments online. We've openly fought on walking
Well,
streams.
we're in a relationship. We're not always going to agree on everything.
Well, yes, and I know, but what I'm trying to say is that through all that has given us both enough strength to move forward. I had thin skin. Now I'm like a suit of armor.
You're Teflon.
Yes. And that, what, sometimes it takes a little hazing, to get that done. But this is ridiculous. It really is. But, that's YouTube. That could happen in real life also. Ouch. But
You're
yeah,
right.
I'm done talking for that.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. It has made us stronger, and it has actually helped us out with newer people that we encounter. And any new people that we encounter that want to try to haze us or attack us like we have gone through in the past, we already know how to handle it. We're like, whatever. We've been on YouTube for many, many, many years. We've been through the trolling thing. You can talk all the shit you want to talk about us and say and do whatever you want to do. And we're just going to ignore it. Not a big deal. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it's been a very interesting experience. And, now we just want to help people out there, understand what we've gone through. So if you ever decide to create online or you ever get attacked in this way, you'll know how to better handle it through our experiences.
Yeah.
Anything else that you want to mention regarding question 1, my love?
No.
Let's get to question number 2. How's that?
Yay.
Okay. Question number 2, babe. Dawn, do you believe hard times usually bring couples closer together, or do they expose problems that were already hiding beneath the surface?
Well, I think if the relationship has a good foundation, then going through something like this can bring you closer together. It can show you how to get through difficult times hand in hand versus fighting it on your own. But I also, on the flip side, think that it can be a detriment to a relationship if it's not strong enough. You have to start with a good basis. And I say it's like a foundation to a home. You can't build a home without a foundation. And the people that you know in life help build that home for you. And that's your village. Those are your people, They're the positive ones. And that can be your partner, It doesn't have to be friends or work people. It can be your partner, as simple as the person lying next to you at night.
Was it Bruce Springsteen that sang Dancing in the Dark? Okay. You can't start a fire without a spark, right?
Yeah.
That's another great analogy, right?
Yeah.
You can't start a fire without a spark, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I completely understand where you're coming from. Anything else, or
No.
should I respond, baby?
Go ahead, baby.
So do I believe hard times usually bring couples closer together, or do they expose problems that were already hiding beneath the surface? I'm going to be honest and say it's a little bit of both.
Yeah, like I was saying.
Yeah. It's a combination of both because, hard times make you reevaluate and focus a lot more clearly and intently, right? I think when people first get into a relationship, like you said, you have the honeymoon period where anything goes. It's all about fun. It's this and that. And then if you're going to stick together and stay together, you start to settle in. Then you have to decide, okay, is this the person I want to spend the rest of my life with? And if that's the case, like Dawn and I have decided to do, okay, we have to learn to trust and communicate better than ever.
Yeah. I want to say like the things us ladies say is like checking off all the boxes. If after you get through some turmoil or some issues and that man is still if that man has still completed all those checked boxes, then you know he's the right one.
Yeah, if all those boxes are still checked.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. They're still checked.
Right. Yeah, so basically, as a man, we are raised to be the provider, at least in the, traditional days. Nowadays, women are liberated and they're independent and stuff. But most decent men, even in this modern world of where women are liberated and traditionalism has gone by the wayside, they still feel a lot of responsibility in the relationship. They still feel that there are certain things they need to provide and do and give as a man to feel like the man and to feel appreciated and loved and respected.
Can I not agree with you and give you a situation?
You sure can.
Okay. So let me think of how to put this the right way. So the
Okay.
right way is to say that women had to become liberated and self-sufficient because so many men have freaking walked out the door. How many deadbeat dads leave you with your kids so you have to pay your rent, your food, your electricity all by yourself? And
True.
that is why us women have had to push ourselves to be able to afford life without a man because we cannot depend on them to be there. Sorry if that blows anybody's bubble or whatever, but it's the truth. Make sure that you can take care of yourself if the other person is not there.
I completely agree with you. I think a lot of that stems from the way that, little boys, young boys are raised nowadays. A lot of them are given everything because both parents are working, and the parents are just trying to keep their kid happy. But what they don't realize they're doing at the same time is spoiling them, entitling them, and also not teaching them responsibility.
Well, let's think about
Right?
it.
Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, because
Okay.
let's think, one person is out working and they're very overwhelmed on having to pay the bills and get all this stuff done and be at prior engagements or whatever,
That's true.
and then the other partner thinks it's not good enough,
Right.
and puts you down, and that's going to bring that person past.
Especially when the man that you're putting down is really truly giving it 110%.
Yes. And I think a lot
Right.
of times parents or people in relationships read each other and they know when their partner is a little too stressed or overwhelmed, to hear a certain thing. And you just know you have to wait to tell them when they've calmed down and they're in the right mind. That's a part of being a couple and actually knowing each other. You don't have to lie to each other. You just choose. Okay, I could see Dawn's stressed. I'm not going to tell her like this right now.
Mm-hmm.
Same goes for Eli, and that's how you respect your partner. You don't push them over that limit with their bandwidth. You keep that glass right at level and not overflowing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, in many times, in many cases, hard times will expose problems that were already hiding beneath the surface. But that can be a good thing because those may be certain things where, one of the people in the relationship, one or the other, was feeling a bit off or didn't feel comfortable talking about something or felt scared. And then it just kind of pops up. And then you're forced to talk about it. And then it gets resolved. And then you can both end up relaxing and try to figure out ways to resolve whatever that issue was. If you keep it to yourself, the issue is just going to end up getting worse at some point. It'll never get resolved, and that can and will affect your relationship. Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, I'm done.
I'm done too. Question
you're
3.
done. Okay. Yeah. So, a little bit of both. Hard times do bring couples closer together, and they do expose problems that were already hiding beneath the surface. And I think when you're able to open up and talk about those things, like you and I both, we don't hide things from each other, but there are some things that, we never thought of discussing with each other. Then they came up, we talked about them, and there was no problem. It actually brought us closer together, and you've been more understanding, I've been more understanding, and it's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is that for number 2. Ready for number 3, my love?
Yes.
Number 3, question number 3. We are at 34 minutes. Question number 3, babe. So, Dawn, when one partner is dealing with serious health problems, anxiety, depression, or physical limitations, how can the other partner remain supportive without becoming emotionally overwhelmed themselves? That's a great question.
I think the key there is patience. Trying to have a lot of patience. Remember, even if you're not married, remember the vow of in sickness and in health.
Mhm.
Realize that, what you're doing for your partner is helping, even if it doesn't feel like you're doing very much for them. I'm just trying to say, I know my situation, my medical issues, I do rely on you a lot for assistance. And I know that can be strenuous. And we've talked about how we balance my feelings, my emotions, and also balance his, because he's going to have to get how he feels out without causing me stress. So yes, we work on that together. And coming up on 5 years, I think we've really gotten stronger and more knowledgeable on how to deal with things appropriately in the relationship.
Anything else on that, babe?
I'm trying to think, did I answer the whole thing?
I think you did.
Yeah, I think I covered everything.
Yeah. When one partner is dealing with serious health problems, anxiety, depression, or physical limitations, how can the other partner remain supportive without becoming emotionally overwhelmed themselves? Well, you and I did go through that. When I first met you, you were going through a lot of health issues. The area where you lived didn't have the best health care, and you very much needed very, very good quality health care, and you got that in our area here on the San Francisco Peninsula, where we live in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Very spoiled.
I don't know if I'd go as far and say spoiled, lucky, fortunate.
Yeah, but I feel like I'm being spoiled by the amount of care and attention that I get from my doctors.
That just goes to show that you're getting the right care.
Yes.
And you're getting what you needed to become healthy. And that's a great thing.
Every time I walk into one of my doctor's offices, I literally feel like I am the only patient that they have, because that is how much time and energy they just put in to me alone.
Right.
And they're doing that with 8 or 10 other patients that day,
Right. So how did I remain supportive without becoming emotionally overwhelmed myself? Well, first of all, I did become emotionally overwhelmed, physically overwhelmed, financially overwhelmed. You name it, I was overwhelmed. Everybody knows that. Ain't got a lie to kick it. You know it. I know it. All of YouTube and the internet knows it because we talked about it. No big deal, because I love her. The bottom line is when you love someone, when you find someone that you resonate with, when you find a partner in life that you can come home and talk to and just talk about whatever and not feel like you're being judged, right? Because I never judge her. She never judges me. Now, do I call her out on stuff? Yes. Does she call me out on stuff? Are there things that I wish that she would, change to better herself that would, be better choices for her? Sure. And she feels the same way about certain things for me. But I'm not here to judge her. I'm here to love, support, and, do my part so she has the happiest and healthiest life possible, and she's, I believe, on the flip side, trying to do the same thing for me.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I've been very, I think, encouraging of you to take time for yourself, get, the things you need to get done for yourself, because my stuff is kind of at a good place right now. And I just think that we can concentrate more on what you need, because I have the time now. My doctors are seeing me every 6 months.
Right. You're a lot better than you were 2-3 years ago.
Yes.
And so you're in a better place emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically. But I'm not going to lie. When she wasn't, I was trying to do whatever I could to help her get through things so she can feel better physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and all, right?
Mm-hmm.
learning to better love herself, self-love and all that. I mean, there were a lot of struggles, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it did overwhelm me. But the reason why I didn't give up, first of all, I'm not one that gives up, especially on someone that I love, is because when I first met her, the thing I loved about her the most, and I still love today, is she has the biggest heart and soul, to a fault, like me. I'm the same way. And so when you love to a fault, and you just accept people for who they are, and it's not just me. Dawn's very accepting of everyone in this world, just like I am. That doesn't mean we're gonna respect or appreciate or agree with what everyone does. There are some bad people out there, but in general, we really care about other people's feelings, wants, and needs, and not just our own, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I don't want to sound cheesy, but I think that the first night we met in person and spoke, I think we were able to look into each other's eyes and see like each other's souls and realize that we're a perfect match. And
Right.
the most, like, it still gets me to this day that he looked at me with this certain look on his face and he's like, well, you want to give this a shot? And I was like, okay. It was just so cute and I love it. But, that I feel we were really able to connect. I could see the kindness, the humility, all of that inside of him. And he saw the same thing in me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I'll talk more about that. There was something else I wanted to mention, but I'll mention that in a little bit. Anything else, babe, for number 3? Let's get to question number 4. So, babe, Dawn, have there been times when you felt guilty because your health or personal struggles placed additional responsibilities on me, and what would you want other people in that position to understand?
Well, I would say every single day that I was really sick, going through all of the things I was going through, I felt horrible every single day. I felt like I didn't have anything really to contribute to the relationship because I was too sick. And I'm not talking about chores and whatever. I couldn't offer much to the relationship. And, you stuck by me
But you wanted the relationship.
Oh, I wanted it. I just couldn't physically put much effort into doing things with him, going out, that kind of stuff like a normal couple would in the beginning. And he stood by me and he knew like, this is going to be rough, but this is not going to be forever. And she is going to get better and we are going to have a beautiful life together.
Absolutely.
And the fact that he could see that and not run shows that this man has a heart of gold.
I appreciate you saying that. During those times, it was like, okay, that'd be nice to hear it back then, but you were not in the place where you could say that back then. And now, I still don't expect it because I don't expect anything from anyone, but hearing it means a lot.
I think at first I felt like you were trying to control me. And it was more so that I felt like every independence that I had was taken away. I was like, I couldn't be helpful to anybody in the world. And that was my thing. And I should not have projected that out onto him because that was my own personal demon with having to accept the fact that I am going to have restrictions and I'm not going to be able to do everything that I did in the past.
And you did it to yourself. It wasn't my fault.
No, I was doing that to myself. He was being as supportive as he humanly possibly could. He was giving 1,000,000%. But back then I couldn't see it. Back then, I feared.
You were not in the position to be able to see it back then.
I feared abandonment. I feared you were going to run away. And it took a while for me, to get out of that haze in my brain. And, we all know I suffered from alcoholism. And that really did fog my brain up for a few years. And now that I don't drink, I feel clear. I feel like I can have a normal conversation with people, which is what I didn't realize. I wasn't doing that. I thought I was, but everybody could see right through me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've got to say, you've really knocked it out of the park. You really turned things around. And, we were very active online back in those days. And we got a lot of criticism, and a lot of people still criticize you to this day, but you've turned it around. And I think the people that were criticizing you back then are like, wow, okay. Wow.
Well, and right now, I have a lot of self-confidence and self-love. And with that armor that I have built, whatever gets said literally bounces off of the armor because it does not affect me anymore. I know I'm a strong woman. I could pull through adversaries. Is that the right word?
Adversaries?
Whatever. I can fight through hard times is my thing. And I don't know where I was going with that. To be completely honest before I ramble onto something else.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Anything else that you want to add to that?
Yeah, I can't remember, but it'll probably come, like maybe with another question. So,
okay.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
No worries.
Brain fog.
So, pretty much that was a question for you. Well, why don't I flip that on you? Have there been times when have there been times where I felt guilty because something that I did placed additional responsibilities on you? There are many things that I've done to try to move myself forward and us forward that have made me feel guilty. The whole YouTube thing again, if I could go back and do it all over again, I don't know if I would have brought you out there publicly. But at the same time, I'm really glad I did because you deserve to have the spotlight. You are someone that has helped so many people and can continue to help many people. Together, we can help so many people.
Yeah, and I think probably you're a little right there. I think we probably should have waited until maybe about 6 months into our relationship before you even really started talking about me in a relationship with you. I'm just saying in hindsight, that's probably what we should have done, and decided not to put all of my private stuff out there the way we did. We probably would have thought to cliff note a lot,
Yeah, I mean, if we can go back almost 5 years and do it over again with what we know now, we would have probably done things a lot differently. But, wouldn't anyone that made mistakes go back and do it differently? I mean, how would we have learned it was a mistake without making the mistake first, right?
Exactly.
So we shouldn't be that hard on ourselves, and we're not trying to be.
Every mistake is a new lesson.
Yeah.
Learned.
I'm just saying that, there are things I've done that have affected her. There are things she's done that have affected me. But at the end of the day, we love each other and we're there to support each other. And when one side is not able to carry, their weight, the other side will step in and carry the weight of both sides. And that way, the person can get better, the other person can get better, and then start, pulling their own weight. So initially it was about me, carrying the majority of the weight. Now Dawn is able to do certain things and it takes a bit of a load off of me. And
yeah,
so,
even down to just making phone calls to clarify things about my different accounts with my medical bills or whatever. Like that's all stuff he handled in the past.
I taught you how to do it.
I wasn't coherent enough.
You weren't in the best place, right?
Yes. Now that I am understanding what you were doing and how we're moving forward, I have more confidence talking to these people because I know the game plan, and I've learned over the 5 years, and I'm just going to round up right now because it's only a few months away. I've learned how you've dealt with finances, insurance companies, just overall that whole blanket of just keeping the family financially okay.
Responsible, baby. Financial responsibility.
Yeah. It was kind of funny. Somebody in a chat today said, "Oh my God, I'm gonna piss off Eli," and he goes, "I'm just starting my 2025 taxes." He goes, "Eli's always so good about starting things right on time." And I thought that was a cute little thing. And once this is aired,
I mean, if you're just doing your 2025 taxes, I hope at least you got an extension, so that way,
See, it's already kind of got into his mind, like, why? So, I mean,
yeah, you're not getting penalized.
That's how much he is by the book on everything. And
well, when you're not by the book and file on time and take care of things, you pay interest, you pay more money, you pay late fees.
Yeah.
I don't like to give away money. Do you?
No.
I like getting my money's worth.
Well, I like giving my money away to people that genuinely work for it. I want to say, going out to eat. You've got an excellent meal and excellent service. You compensate that for the luxury of having somebody serve you dinner. Okay.
And you tip them.
You tip them, you have to recognize this. Those are the people you give your money to.
Right.
People who truly need it and appreciate it for the right reasons.
Right. Absolutely.
Period.
Absolutely. Okay. So, number 5 and then break time.
Yeah.
Okay. We are at 52 minutes. Wonderful. Question number 5, babe, my lovely lady Dawn. What do you need most from me during the moments when you are frightened, overwhelmed, depressed, or uncertain about the future?
I'm going back to the one word of patience, which I will say I have -0. Is that even a number? -0?
Well, below 0, you can go below 0.
I'm going to say -1,000,000. I have no patience at all. And
0.
But if there are situations that are stressful for me that I'm having a hard time with, I do want patience from my partner, which is Eli, the same way he wants me to be patient when he's having a problem. It's just, I have to say, take time, breathe, and realize that's not really how this person feels or wants to act or wants to say things. It's their own frustration with what they can't do. And I speak for that myself. And, I know I'm I could do this on my own, and I kind of push you back. I could walk on my own. And then next thing I know, I fall. And so it's just one of those things.
You eat your own words, huh, baby?
Yeah, I would say.
Have you eaten your own words?
100% of the time. I can be honest.
Hey, you know what? I've been in the same boat at times myself. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, but I think that's what it is. It's just taking the time when you get to know the person. You know when they're going to be a little quirky. You have the patience. Sometimes you have to just step back and, walk away from something. And sometimes the best way is just walk away.
No, absolutely. You're absolutely right. Anything else on that, babe?
No.
So, what do I need the most from you during moments when I am frightened, overwhelmed, depressed, or uncertain about the future? because even men get frightened too. We may not show it. We try not to show it because then that really
That scares women.
It'll mess up our lady really bad. What I need from you is one simple thing. Well, a couple of things. Patience and understanding. And most importantly, hear me out. Most of the time, all I want to do is explain the situation. And you're not alone, babe. I respect women, but most women are impatient.
Oh, I believe that's very true.
Because women are ridden by their emotions. It's true. They respond to everything emotionally first, based on how they're feeling in the present moment. And so, as a man, first of all, you have to understand that as a man. All I've ever tried to do is the best I can with what I've got. And when I can't even do that, and I know it's going to affect you, for example, I want to be able to take 3 to 5 minutes and clearly explain to you what's going on. And this is not just you. This is most ladies are naturally like this. We just have to find a better way to communicate. Us men need to find a better way to communicate and just say, hey, please just hear me out. I know this is boring stuff. I know you really don't want to hear it, but this is affecting you. It's affecting us. I don't want it to affect us. So let's have a nice conversation. And just like women want to be heard and understood, so do men.
Mm-hmm.
We may not just vocalize it as much as you do, because men don't typically vocalize that stuff. It's just automatic for us. Mm-hmm. But women, when you're not heard and understood, you'll let us know. You may not directly tell us that, you're not listening. Sometimes you do. But when you don't, you react in other ways. You react, overreact. You get frustrated. You shut down. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I actually was watching a program this morning, and one of the characters, a female, was talking about emotions. She goes, women are like the ocean, full of feels. Like when we're angry, we're a shark. When we don't want to listen, we just go into a cave. Like when we're goofy, we're a clownfish. Like she was just going over all that because those are all of our feelings and they're in the ocean. So it's funny you brought that up.
But you know what the thing that really affects men the most, and this is not just you. This is, and I'm not trying to generalize women. I'm just saying this is how it is. Like women want to be heard and understood, but then they don't want to hear what you have to say sometimes. And that really gets to us guys, because we put the effort to listen to you and try to meet you at your level and understand. But many times, or at least sometimes, we don't get the same in return. And so what I need the most from you, and what I think, men that are in a relationship need the most from their women, is understanding, patience, to be heard and understood in the same ways that you want us listening to you and understanding you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that fair?
Yeah. And I would say the one last thing, support.
Support, absolutely. That goes without saying. Absolutely, it goes without saying. Yeah. Anything else, baby?
No.
Okay, so hold on. Before you go, we're at 58 minutes. Let me turn off the camera here. We have the nice background. It says partnership, collaboration, performance, success, planning, and teamwork. See that, baby? As you walk out? Absolutely. So Dawn's going to step away and take her break. And the dogs are all calm and quiet in here. They're both sleeping. Wow, that's fantastic. They were looking forward to coming into the podcast studio, which is my office that also dubs as a podcast and YouTube and video creation studio. But anyway, if you're listening to us on the audio-only podcast networks such as Apple, Spotify, Amazon's Music, my lady's favorite, iHeartRadio, Amazon's Audible, YouTube's Music. On YouTube Music, we're audio and video. YouTube Music has video integrated now because basically it's run and owned by YouTube/Google. So And we're also on many of the other not as popular, not as well known audio only podcast networks. Basically, if you're listening to us audio only and you would like to view the video version of our podcast, which is basically the same audio with video, we actually rip the audio from the video for the audio only podcast. Go below the description of wherever listening to this audio only. About halfway down, you'll see the link that'll redirect you to the video version. And at the same time, you'll be redirected to our main channel on YouTube, GNA, Genuine Personal Development. When you go there, please subscribe, bang the bell, and select all notifications so you don't miss anything. While you're there, go below in that description section of that video. And a couple lines down, you'll see the link to our secondary live streaming channel on YouTube, GNA2, Genuine Live Personal Development, where, we typically in the past have gone live every day, if not, several days a week. Lately, we've only been going live once a week or so, if that. I've been working some freelance jobs and doing some other things, but I will be getting back to a more regular live streaming schedule. So you're going to want to subscribe to that channel as well, GNA2, Genuine Live Personal Development. Subscribe, bang the bell, and select the notifications, because that's one of the best ways to interact with us in real time. I'm typically the one creating most of the live content. Sometimes Don will join me. Sometimes we'll do a stream from the studio, a live stream from the studio where we have guests. But even if Dawn doesn't join me, she's typically in most, if not all, the chats of my live streams. And you can engage with the both of us in real time. And you know what? It doesn't cost you anything. Yes, you can donate if you want. Cash App, PayPal. Those links are available in the audio-only podcast description section. On YouTube, they're available in that description section. Plus, you can super chat on YouTube while live. Connect with us on YouTube, and that way you can keep in touch beyond these podcast episodes. Dawn has just re-entered the podcast studio. You like the background before we turn it back on for the people on the video? And partnership is collaboration, baby. Planning, performance, teamwork, and success.
Yes. I'm good.
Should we put the camera back on?
Yeah, I'm good.
I think we are in sync. Yep. We're good. All right.
We're good.
We're good. We are at exactly 1 hour, baby. 1 hour, 5 questions to go. Great show so far. Really love this topic. Really love it when we get down to the nitty gritty. I really feel it helps people.
Yes. I believe that's our intention, is to get out there and just try to help anybody we can. Even if we don't ever hear from you, just listening to us, if you take any of the advice or anything, we're happy that we can just help people in general, even if we don't know we're helping them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm just readjusting your microphone.
Yeah, I know. When I come back and sit down, it's like sometimes I'm off, like
Okay.
an inch to the right or left. So I know. I love you for that.
It's all good. It just picks up the audio better. Anyway, let's get to question number 6. Babe, ready?
Okay.
So, Dawn, how can couples disagree, become frustrated, or even argue during hard times without forgetting that they are still supposed to be on the same team? How many times have I told you, babe, we're on the same team?
Several. And I think
Several's an understatement. A ton.
I said several.
Okay. Amen.
Okay.
Amen. Go ahead.
Yes. I believe a lot of that has to do with the fact I'm very stubborn.
So am I.
Yes. And so when I'm trying to get something across and he's not receiving it, then I keep going and going and going. And same on his side. It's like, why aren't you hearing this? And sometimes I'll talk to him and be like, 14 people in the room are saying the sky is blue, Eli, but you think it's green and it's right. It's like sometimes we have to do that to each other and be like.
But you want to know what? Sometimes, even though 14 people think that they're right and you're wrong, you're actually right and they're wrong. But even at that point, trying to convince 14 people that are coming at you in the opposite way is pointless.
There's no need.
It's pointless.
There's no need to convince anybody.
There's no need to convince anyone of anything. Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying is that you don't need to be convinced to take any advice from anybody.
Right. True.
You are your own independent person.
Amen.
You don't have to tell anybody. You could just listen to any podcast out there. Take whatever you hear. You might take 2 or 3 suggestions from different podcasts, put them together for whatever works for you.
Absolutely. Anything else you want to add to that, babe?
No.
So how can couples disagree, become frustrated, or even argue during hard times without forgetting that they are still supposed to be on the same team? I've said it so many times. I love this woman. Whenever I've wanted to sit down, there are times where I've wanted to sit down and talk with her about things when she hasn't been in the greatest mood. Not because of me, but something else may have come up with your family or something else, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's something important I need to get through to you, right? And then I may start commenting on something you're going through because I care about you, and I'm a very protective man. Most men that love their women are going to be protective, even though women nowadays want to say, I'm Rosie the Riveter, and, I am woman, hear me roar. I respect that, but I'm old school man. I love my woman. I'm going to protect my woman, right?
Yes, and R.I.P. Rosie.
Yeah, R.I.P. to Rosie the Riveter, right? Anyway, I've always told you, whenever you're coming at me, I said, I'm not trying to argue. I don't argue women. I've never argued a woman. It's stupid because first of all, you're not going to win. Even if you're right, you're still going to lose. Second of all, we're on the same team. We're on the same team. That would be like people on our home team here, our home baseball team, the San Francisco Giants. That would be like team members on the Giants arguing amongst each other. That's stupid. We're on the same team. If there's one thing that I've tried to drill into this lovely lady's head, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that we're on the same damn team.
Yeah, and it's been a struggle for me because I thought I had teams with other people, and those teams broke down. And so I'm a little hesitant to be a part of a team.
You know why? Because they not only struck out, they struck out looking. They didn't even swing the bat. Right? At least if someone's going to strike out, at least swing for the damn fences like I do. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I don't know where I was. I'm sorry.
No, you said you thought you had other partners.
Yeah,
that were teammates, and they ended up not being real teammates. So,
yes.
So basically, you felt like, well, Eli's telling me this, but I've never had a man wanting to be on the same team, so maybe this is bullshit.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
And at first, I didn't feel or realize that's what you were doing, even though. Like, I felt that you were telling me what to do and how to feel at times.
Mm-hmm.
And like I've said, I suffered from some serious crap in my head. And that's not an excuse. It's just the facts, And I wasn't patient, and I wasn't always kind.
Oh, yeah.
And now I remember the verse, love is patient, love is kind.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's more of it, and I do know it in my head, but I'm just going to stop there because y'all get the point.
Right.
You have to be patient, and you have to be kind to your partner. You're going to get nowhere if you are just abrasive and full of like glass, broken glass. You're not going to get anywhere with anybody. You just have to love and be patient.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. No, absolutely. Teamwork makes the dream work. It's the same thing in relationships.
I say that all the time.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're on the same team. I'm not. Why? And I would, initially, when I first started telling her we're on the same team, and she would look at me funny or maybe get a little upset and whatever because of her past experiences of not having real teammates. she would just look at me with a stern face and it's BS and this and that. And I'm like, we're on the same team. I mean, why would I be trying to argue my teammate? Like, I'm not trying to belittle you or hurt you or anything. If that's how I felt, I just wouldn't be with you. But I'm with you. So just understand we're on the same damn team.
Yeah,
we're fighting it.
One thing I really respect about you is that in our relationship, since we do have so much love and respect for each other, you say, I will never fight you. And we just have discussions. And that's what it's come down to. We talk more at a civil level than argue. What did I say? You get more honey from bees than vinegar or flies.
Yeah, you can catch more honey with you can catch more bees with honey than vinegar or something like that.
Yes. So I mean, same thing. If you put off a nasty attitude, then that's gonna be a reflection of you and how you feel, and then that's also gonna, trickle off to your partner, your family, your friends. They're not gonna want to be around you.
No, you're absolutely right. Anything else for number 6, my love?
No.
Okay. So we have 4 more to go. Number 7. Do you believe, babe, Dawn, do you believe financial pressure changes the way couples communicate? And how can people prevent money problems from turning into blame, resentment, or emotional distance?
Absolutely.
Great question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Financial troubles are the biggest demise of many relationships. Essentially that did come down to the demise of mine. Although we made plenty of money, we were living outside of our means. And so robbing Peter to pay Paul and all of this I was doing, my ex-husband had no idea. And then when he started to see like the bills come in, he'd open them and be like, okay, we're 30 days past due on this one. What the hell? It became a very big deal. And he was very hurt at the fact I couldn't tell him as like he was my husband. And that created a big wedge. And, he then criticized every penny I spent. He wanted to know everything. I was so freaking petty. I itemized down to the penny how much money I would spend in a day. Just so he could see on average it wasn't tremendously big. And, I mean, when it comes to stressful for a relationship, that will crumble. The problem was my ex-husband and we didn't have a stable foundation to work on. We started off with money problems and we ended with money problems. We never learned. And, so
you two were both young. You were younger.
Yes.
And still, I mean, that happens, I don't think that you folks had enough experience with responsibility in your early 20s,
Yeah, we did kind of jump into life behind the 8 ball. I don't regret a damn thing I've ever done in my life. Everything's been learning opportunities. I don't regret that marriage and that relationship at all because I wouldn't have my babies. Even the next relationship, people would say, yeah, I regret being with somebody who hit me or abused me.
Right.
I don't regret that because I learned that I will never be hit again by another man. I mean, I can't so much complain about the last relationship. He was a really nice, good guy. Just his motivation for the future was not there.
He is a nice person. He is a good person.
So it just didn't work out. Now I have actually found somebody that I feel okay to communicate with that. Even if he might not be happy with it, we will talk it out and we will be okay. So that's, we talk about our finances all the time. He's very open about everything that we're spending and we're making. And that did clear up a lot of worry and doubt in my mind. So yes, this man has been completely a different type of relationship. One of support, one of unconditional love. I mean, that's the big thing. I could burn down his house and he would love me. Not that I'm ever going Lisa Left Eye on anybody.
Did that, but I mean,
well, I ain't gonna go Lisa Left Eye. Okay, I'm just not. That was fucked up what she did to Andre Rison. But anyways, what I'm trying to get across is that I could do pretty much anything. This man loves me. He always will. That was a very extreme example, but still. Now that I know this and I really feel comfortable and good, I feel well enough to discuss this and be open and actually even be a little confrontational and be like, no, you need to tell me exactly what's going on. Show me so that I understand.
Right.
Because a lot of it is stuff I don't understand. I need to see it. I'm a visual learner.
Right. You're hands-on is what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're more hands-on learning. That's how I've always been hands-on. I've always been hands-on. That's the best way to learn. I mean, you're not going to really understand. You can see a set of instructions, and until you start doing what the instructions say, or, until you see it and, start doing it, it's not going to be the same. You learn hands-on.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anything else?
No.
Okay. Let's go on to question number 8, babe. So, Dawn, what is the difference between truly supporting a partner and trying to control, rescue, or solve every problem for them? This is one of your favorites. I know this is one of your favorites. Because you yourself said that you felt controlled initially, but you realized all I was trying to do was communicate.
I think the big thing is, like with me, I felt like I was a broken, like little bird, like super fragile, that you walked on eggshells or bubble wrap around me.
Honestly, can I be honest with you? That's how it was.
Yeah.
And that's what you were.
Yeah.
Let's be real about it, right? Go ahead.
Yeah, no. And that's kind of where I was getting at, is that was how it was. That was what I was putting off.
Absolutely.
And like I've always said, and I will go back, I swear by this, with the help of my therapist and my psychiatrist, I have gotten chemistry, all that good stuff right in my head. All of the hormones are working in the right direction.
Amen.
And so now I can be patient. I can listen. I can learn, which is something I never was open to before. I just wanted instant gratification. Don't tell me how it's done. Just show me the finished product,
Yeah. No, absolutely. Anything else, babe?
No.
So for me, for number 8, what is the difference between truly supporting a partner and trying to control, rescue, or solve every problem for them? So I have been accused many times for being controlled. You've done it. Other people online have done it. Other friends of mine have done it. I've never, ever tried to control anyone. All I've ever tried to do is help people that are in need, that are currently going through something that I went through, and I understand fully why they're going through it and how shitty it is and how much I really want to help them overcome it, because they don't deserve to be going through that. Go ahead.
But I will go back and say, if people do not want our help, we are now not going to push that on people.
Yeah, we never really tried to in the first place, but we people that pushed themselves onto us, people that were pushing themselves onto us in negative ways with their crappy behavior, we've called them out. And we've said, yeah,
We're not doing that anymore.
You need the help, but you don't want the help from us. We're not even going to do that anymore. But go ahead. You're right.
And we're not going to do that anymore. I've been saying this, like, when we do these podcasts or he does his shows, it doesn't matter what the people are saying in the chat, whatever. We just have to look past it. Haters are going to hate. Every person out there on YouTube has what?
Is that Swifty?
That is Swifty.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah, but everybody online has haters.
Right.
Even the biggest fan or the biggest stars in the world have haters. So, having some haters is actually a good thing in my mind, because
your haters actually really like you. They're jealous.
Well, yeah, that's what it really is.
They're extremely jealous, baby. They
really
are.
Because I look at it this way. If you're not jealous or interested in what's going on in my life, why are you paying attention?
Exactly. Why pay attention?
Turn to another channel. If you don't like who I am and what I'm saying, don't listen to me. Move on. That has been my thing. And I've had to move on from things in which I wasn't getting the right help, the right direction. I had to find a new place for myself. It's sometimes like when you feel like you're not getting anything from your church or your job. So you have to find something else to give you that satisfaction,
Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, I've never been about controlling people, but I have learned to understand how it comes off that way. And especially the people that are not in the best place emotionally or mentally or spiritually, right? And they're lacking self-love. It doesn't matter how nice you are to those people. They're not even being nice to themselves. So how do you expect them to be nice to you and give you a reasonable response? So that's why we were saying, hey, look, to those people out there, before anyone can help you, you've got to get to the point where at least you realize that you need the help. And so you're right. That's the way to do it. But, the difference between truly supporting a partner and trying to control them is listening and understanding. Once again, it all boils down to listening and understanding. And, that doesn't mean you have to agree with what your partner is saying or doing. If you disagree, listen to what they're saying. Say, in the case with Dawn and I, she may say something, and for the most part, I agree, but there may be one part where I don't agree. I'm not going to sit there and tell her that I agree with everything just to get her off my back, because first of all, she's going to know I'm BSing her, and women don't respect men that lie or just agree with everything just to be a yes man.
Well,
right?
And you know what? Maybe you have to question something I say because I didn't say it a way you could understand it.
True. If it's something that I feel you're suggesting to do or you've done, and I think it's wrong, I will say, hey, this is your life. I wouldn't do what you're doing. I don't suggest you do it, but you do you.
Well, you have to say that pretty much to every adult out there.
Sure.
You're an adult. You're going to make your own choices. You're going to do what you want to do. Right. I'm going to love you regardless, but I don't have to agree with what you're doing.
Yeah, what I'm saying is don't be a yes man, or a yes woman to everything. If you disagree with your partner, you can respectfully disagree. And I'll tell you this, I respect Dawn when she's more so, if she disagrees with something, when she more so tells me she disagrees. But then at the same time, it depends how she disagrees. Is she forcing it on me? Or is she saying, hey, babe, listen, I don't agree with this, but you got to decide what's best for you, or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to approach it in a subtle type of way, or in a respectful manner. If you come off like you're attacking your partner, especially if it's me attacking her, listen, I don't want to deal with the repercussions of that. So I just don't do it. I don't attack women anyway. I just don't even I don't try to attack anyone. Maybe a few men have attacked them online before, but they deserved it. But even that, no more. But especially with a woman that you're in a relationship with, no, you don't handle things that way.
No, every woman likes the term happy life, happy wife, or happy wife, happy life, however you want to say it. But
happy wife, happy life.
Yes. But that's not how it should always be done.
I agree.
You shouldn't just give in order to make her happy.
That's the yes man scenario that you're not going to respect if a man just agrees with everything just to agree, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Because there's just no respect if you're going to let me walk all over you and tell you what kind of man you are. You have to be equal, loving, and supportive. And if you don't agree with something, just be patient. Absolutely. Sometimes you just have to let them do what they want to do and either succeed or fail. Just like you've got to put your kid on a bike, and some are going to ride and some are going to fall.
Exactly.
Can't be scared.
Exactly. Anything else, my love?
No, sir.
2 more to go, my love. Question number 9. So, babe, Dawn, have there been moments when you felt alone in your struggles, even though I was physically beside you? And what could partners do to recognize that kind of emotional loneliness?
Absolutely. I feel there are a lot of things that have happened in my life that you absolutely cannot relate to, i.e. having children, being a parent, being a woman, being a victim of abuse. Those are all things that I have, but you don't necessarily understand. And so when it comes to that, it's a matter of communication to let your partner know how that previous behavior made you feel and how you would like to push forward in the relationship without having this problem. You communicate.
Right. But here's the thing real quick.
Yeah.
I understand that there are going to be things that I will never understand at your level, or someone that's one of your lady friends or something, right? But it's not about me trying to understand. I want to learn. I want to listen and have you explain to me what's going on, what you're feeling, what you're going through.
Because otherwise you're going to think I'm irrational and crazy if I don't explain.
Or you're trying to keep something from me.
Yeah, if I don't explain why it's so important to me.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I get what you're saying.
It's all about communication.
Yeah.
It's all about communication, babe. And that's the biggest. I've always said communication is the key to any friendship or relationship. Once that breaks down,
boom, bang. You're out there.
Done, son. Like your favorite phrase, done, son. Done, son. You see, I even know your quirky, weird phrases.
Well, honey, we could read each other's minds at times.
Okay, baby.
I know what you're going to say sometimes before you even says it.
That sounds really cheesy, baby, but it's okay. You like the cheesy stuff.
I don't like the cheesy stuff. I don't.
You like to say the cheesy stuff, but not hear it from me.
No.
I'm kidding.
There's nothing cheesy about it. It's the truth. We are, grossly in sync with each other.
That's why we work. So anything else for number 9 for you, my love?
Oh, I said no.
Okay. So have there been moments where I felt alone in my struggles, even though I was physically beside you? And, what can partners do, in this case, you, to recognize that kind of emotional loneliness? I think it's happened more often to you than to me as a man. I tend to be very understanding to why certain things happen. What I care about the most is that you're here with me, you're safe, the dogs are here, there's nothing to worry about, you getting hurt or anything like that, or anyone hurting you or whatever, right? But there have been times where certain things like, running this organization, the GNA, dealing with some online haters, dealing with other stuff with family, where I felt that I was alone in my struggle because I would come to you for support and you more so were trying to de-escalate the situation. If it involved my family or stuff, you would more so take their side because you just wanted to not create any issues. And I get that. I understand why those things happen. I think that, times where I felt alone in a struggling situation, I think that, I think more communication. It all boils down to more communication, and being heard and understood. Just like, again, the biggest thing for women that I've learned in my 40s, and I learned a lot of this from Coach Corey Wayne, and I was kind of living it, but Coach Corey Wayne clearly explains it. Women want to be heard and understood. I am the same way. And I think men also want to be heard and understood. But a lot of men just, don't even push to want to be heard because they feel that, as long as they're listening to their lady and understanding her, like, their feelings don't matter. And the thing is, both sides matter. And that's the thing I communicate with Dawn is, yeah, your feelings matter. You want to be heard and understood, but my feelings matter too. And I also want to be heard and understood. And we've talked about that. And maybe the first time we talked about it, it might not have gone as well, but over the course of time, as we grow closer together, and we've been together almost 5 years now, we've learned to balance it out, and we've been there for each other. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that, it's just been a good balance that we've made over the years. And, sometimes when somebody feels like very strong about something and they want to do it and their partner is like, I don't think that's a good idea. Sometimes you have to let them do it. Or you have to let
them burn themselves.
Yes, or you have to let that idea that you've given them simmer long enough that they think it's their idea. So there are ways to approach this with any kind of person. It's just, it's individual. And I know how I approach things with Eli and how that works for us.
Right. You flipped it on me because when it comes to when you first start dating a lady, you don't push her into a relationship. That has to be the lady's idea. It's exactly what you were saying. But typically more so works, when a man just, shows up, is himself, and allows the lady to feel things freely and allow the relationship, if she wants it to go there, to be more so her idea. Let me tell you something. And Coach Corey Wayne has said this too, and I agree. This is how I've lived my life. Regardless of whether I want to do something or not, sure, I'll communicate, and so will she. But if it's always more her idea than mine, even if I'm thinking the same thing, if it's her idea more than mine, it just works better that way. And you trying to flip that onto me, the man. And I'm saying that I respect you for doing that because you understand the concept.
Mm-hmm.
But I do too. And that's what we want to teach more men to understand, that when it comes to, male-female dating relationships or marriages, right? You as the man are going to be better off if whatever you do, whether you initiated the idea or not, ends up being more of your lady's idea than yours. Trust me, it'll just be a lot easier.
Well, yeah, I know something that happens with us sometimes is, we try to change up our menu and go different places. But if I know that you're stressed and you're overwhelmed and you've worked a lot that day or we have something coming up that is semi-stressful, I know I just suggest the easiest thing. Just the closest, easiest thing to our home, just so I don't add extra stress, And I've done that, I think, kind of in the past couple of weeks. I've tried to relieve some of that stress of running around and trying to find something.
I'm very proud of you. What Coach Corey Wayne also has said is just try to get a little better each and every day. Don't try to shotgun things, and don't try to, skip through things.
Don't try to shoot the moon until you get all of the pieces.
Right. You don't need to move forward a mile or 10 miles or 100 miles each day. If you move an inch each day or a centimeter each day, as long as you're moving the needle forward, no matter how slowly it is, you're heading in the right direction.
Yeah.
That's all that matters, is that you're heading in the right direction. Anything else for number 9, babe?
Nope.
Final question, number 10, babe. So, Dawn, after everything we have experienced together, what do you believe has kept our love and partnership strong, and what promise do you believe couples must continue making to each other when life becomes difficult?
I believe for us, it's been the honesty between the two of us. I've told you raw, real feelings about how you're acting or what you're doing. You've done the same thing back to me.
Absolutely.
And we've gotten to a point where we're able to do that now in a nice way without, saying, "Oh, you're a dumbass." See, I told you so. Right. You don't want to hear "I told you so" from anybody. So, sometimes you just have to let them be and support them. And that's the most important thing. Communication, being honest, being supportive, and just truly just fall in love with that person every single day.
Right. Anything else, my love?
No, sweetheart.
So for me, after everything that you and I have experienced together, what do I believe has kept our love and partnership strong, and what promise do I believe couples must continue making to each other when life becomes difficult? Communication has kept it going. And I'll tell you, it hasn't always been communication that I enjoyed or that I agreed with, and same on the flip side, but we've always communicated. That's what I love about you. You've always communicated with me how you're feeling, even during the times, when I first met you, when you were not in the best place emotionally, spiritually, physically, mentally, and all that. You were still communicating with me how you felt during that time.
Mm-hmm.
And all I was trying to do was listen, and was just trying to get you to go in the right direction so you can be happier, right?
Yeah.
So communication, patience, understanding. A lot of people say that I'm very impatient. I have a lot of patience. I'm not saying I'm all that. I'm not trying to say I'm the most patient guy in the world. I'm probably not. But I do have a lot of patience. It really takes a lot to set me off and push me over the edge. If I'm starting to get triggered, or if I'm starting to lose my patience, you have really pushed me above and beyond the point where most people would react, or would have reacted sooner. Okay. And what promise do I believe couples must continue making to each other when life becomes difficult? I'm going to go back to what I said earlier. We're teammates. Okay. The promise is that we're always going to be teammates. As long as we're teammates playing on the same team, of course it's a figure of speech, but you know what I mean. Then that's it. Okay.
And some years you're in first place, and some years you're in last.
The Giants are in last.
They are just
dead last.
Oh, they are like the second or best team or worst team in baseball.
Oh, this is just
it's disgustingly depressing.
Horrific year for the San Francisco Giants, and
but here's to better years.
But as long as we're teammates, that's what matters. Teammates
stick together.
They do, and it's a fancy way of saying partners. This is a partnership here. Okay, yeah, we're two individuals coming together as one partnership. And I'm going to wrap up by saying this. I think a lot of the people out on YouTube, or a lot of the people that seem to come up like they despise us or they want to attack us, I think they wish they could have this. And I'm not saying that to throw it in their face, babe. I'm just saying that people that are in a happy, committed relationship don't behave in the ways like some of these people that are single do.
Exactly.
That's all I'm going to say. And for people that, don't have that special partner and they think they can't get that special partner, okay? As long as you keep thinking that, you're never going to get that. If you want that special partner, you've got to think like you want it. You've got to manifest it. And there's been a lot of talk about manifestation throughout some of the communities that, surround me on YouTube, whether I like it or not, or surround us on YouTube. But manifestation's been a big thing. Manifestation is important. I think what we're going to do next week is a topic on manifestation.
Sounds good.
I think that is going to be next week's topic. But anything else for number 10, babe?
No, sweetheart.
All right, babe. So we're at 1 hour and 41 minutes. We're going to start to wrap this up. Any final thoughts, my love? What are your final thoughts here?
Well, once again, I want to thank everybody who is watching and has been loyal to us. And I just think this is a great topic for everybody. Not every relationship is perfect. So, hopefully any one of these tools can help you wherever you need them to. Just remember to be patient, be kind, be loving, and have a happy life.
Amen. Anything else, my love?
No.
Okay. So before we start wrapping this thing up, so Dawn, I think what this episode really comes down to is this. Love is not proven only during the happy moments. It is not proven only during birthdays, anniversaries, vacations, date nights, good news, or celebrations. Love is also proven in waiting rooms, the hospital waiting rooms. And how many of those have I been in with you?
I don't know. Too many. Too many.
There you go. Back into the mic.
Yeah, I don't know. Too many.
Right. During sleepless nights, during financial struggles, during panic attacks, during periods of depression, during family emergencies, during disagreements, during disappointments, and during the moments when neither person knows exactly what to do next. Being a good partner does not mean having all the answers, right?
Yes.
It does not mean being perfect. It does not mean never becoming frustrated, because that happens quite often, right, baby? To any human being, right?
I become frustrated in a lot of the different just relationships I have in my life, whether it's with my mother, my daughter, his
Amen.
mother, my best friend from elementary, or whoever. I mean, it could happen with anybody.
Amen. It does not mean never needing space, and it does not mean sacrificing your entire identity until there is nothing left of you. Being a good partner means showing up honestly. It means listening without immediately becoming defensive. It means asking what the other person needs instead of assuming. It means admitting when you are struggling. It means saying, "I am here," even when you cannot make the problem disappear. It means remembering that the relationship is not you against your partner. It is both of you against the problem. Teammates. It is both of you against the fucking problem. And sorry for my language, but I had to emphasize that. And sometimes the most loving thing you can say is, I do not know how we are going to get through this yet. How many times have I told you that? But I didn't say that to give you uncertainty, which is the last thing you want to give a woman. I told you, I don't know how we're going to get through it, but I always find a way.
Yeah.
That's what I say to her every time.
And that's what I say back to him when he's stressed out. I say, you know what, baby? Whenever this has happened in the past, you've always made it work.
I don't know how I paid that card off in time, baby, but I got it. Anyway, but we are going to face it together. To anybody listening who is going through a difficult period with the person they love, remember that stress can change how people communicate. Fear can make people defensive. Exhaustion can make people impatient. Pain can make people withdraw. And financial pressure can make even small disagreements feel enormous. So slow down, listen, communicate, be honest, ask for help when you need it.
And if you don't understand what your partner's asking you for, as far as their emotionally what they're asking for, then ask them, clarify, make sure what they're asking for is what you're receiving and that you could give them back.
Like you always say, message received.
Message received.
That's when you're really triggered because I didn't give you the answer you wanted. I was honest with you. You say message received.
Mm-hmm. And or affirmative.
I hate when you do that because I know that you're a little triggered because I didn't give you the answer you wanted to hear. I gave you the proper answer. Anyway, give each other room to be human and do not allow temporary pain to make you forget everything you have built together. Hard times can change a relationship, but that change does not always have to be negative. Sometimes hard times teach people how strong they really are. Sometimes they teach people how deeply they are loved. Sometimes they strip away everything superficial and reveal what the relationship is truly built upon. Trust, loyalty, compassion, patience, friendship, and the decision to continue facing life together. So, babe, thank you.
You're welcome
for having this conversation with me, babe. It was a conversation. It was raw and real. It was something we used to do all the time. We haven't done one of these in a while, but I'm glad we've done it now that you're in a better place, compared to years ago. And I love you for it. And just like I always say, babe, how do we always end this show?
Don't take life for granted.
That's right. Don't take life for granted. And with that being said, it is time to start wrapping this up. All right. You've listened to the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast. This has been episode number 69. No pun intended, but that's 69, baby.
Mm-hmm.
The title of the show was Love and Partnership Through Life's Hard Times. One more time, episode number 69 of the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast was titled Love and Partnership Through Life's Hard Times. One more time before we get out of here, if you're listening to us on the audio-only podcast networks such as Apple, Spotify, Amazon's Music, my lady's favorite,
iHeartRadio. One more time, iHeartRadio.
That's right. iHeartRadio is my lady's favorite. I love it too. And that's 4 times. 4th time is the charm here. We're on iHeartRadio. We're also on Amazon's Audible. We're also on YouTube's Music, audio and video on YouTube's Music. And we're also on many of the other not as popular or well-known audio-only podcast networks. If you listen to us audio-only and you'd like to watch the video version of our podcast, please go below the description section of wherever you're listening to this audio-only. Halfway down, you'll see the link. Click it. It'll redirect you to our main channel, GNA, Genuine Personal Development. Please subscribe, bang the bell, and select all notifications so you don't miss anything. Then go below in that description section, and you'll also see the link to our secondary live streaming channel, GNA2, Genuine Live Personal Development, where we go live pretty regularly. Lately, it's been maybe once a week or so, but we're going to get back to regular schedule. You're going to want to connect with us live there because that's where you can communicate with us, outside of this podcast. Anyway, with that being said, it's time to go. Have a good one. Take care. And as always, babe,
Be
good to each other.